So the program is a program that involves both students and faculty. I think the goal is to educate students about ways that they can have relationships that are healthy, I think, in every sense of the term. So relationships that promote well-being, that help you to feel successful in all areas of life rather than be depressive, which can sometimes happen. So it's been going on for several years now, and I think that's the main aim. The ability to talk about these things and to learn how to talk about them in ways that we don't have to be sort of silly or nervous or afraid to discuss things that are really incredibly important aspects of human lives. And I do think one of the reasons I was interested in doing the family of origins, we tend to just assume that the relationships that we grew up with are normative. And so I think it's very helpful to have space where you just get a little bit of distance from that and think, is this actually the kind of family that I want to have, the kind of relationships that I want to have in my own life? Do I have to accept that modeling as normative for me? So I think that's hugely important. And for several years, I led conversations about the relationships between family of origins, which is just a fancy way to say the family that you grew up in, and how that might affect the relationships that you have as an adult. And I'm generally suspicious of decline narratives, the idea that things are sort of always getting worse. I think older generations always think that about younger generations. So to me, it's a perennial problem. How do we think about friendships, romantic relationships, relationships with our families, in ways, again, that promote well-being? So it's something I think I've always cared about. The more diversity we can have in those conversations, the better. So if someone is being held back by fear that they won't fit in with that particular group, it's a very nice environment, and I did not hear people being shamed or criticized or reported on if they did not happen to agree with the views of the group. So I think that's a big piece of it, having that diverse set of opinions. I have to give credit to especially Mary Collins and Bob Baum and all the faculty. Jason King's done so much. He's done research on these things. I'd like to see it integrated more into academic work perhaps in the future. But yeah, I just think it's been an incredibly valuable and thoughtful program, and I do hope it continues.